we are, as you see at the next slide, we are also a small multi-stakeholder organization that is only promoted to healthy conformation. So we are limited to that. Next. And it's the same with all the other healthy aspects. If we bring together all of those we have mentioned also in the presentations before, we are doing better. Next. When this International Partnership of Dogs was formed, we found that it's much better if we can have bringing stakeholders together. So we started bringing stakeholders together for a lot of health issues. But we also found that there was a great interest in extreme conformation. So we decided it might be smart to break out that. And next slide. We also found that it would be good to have stakeholders brought together, both nationally and internationally, because we found that those countries that have good national collectives between various stakeholders were doing more than those that just were working by themselves. Next. No. Now you have mixed it up with someone else's. So back to that. So one more back. One more back.
Sorry.
So what I'm saying is we now have two separate entities working together when it comes to extreme conformation. But we're working hand in hand, and we could see us as daughters of International Partnership of Dogs. Next. You actually can read, and it's about the same structure of what's also for IPFD, but it's focused on extreme conformation. Next. And of course, we would hope that we wouldn't see any more of those extreme conformation. That's a vision which is too far, but let's go in that direction as far as we can. Next. What we have focused on from the beginning is to support the national multi-stakeholder groups, because we believe that's where they can make the most and then bring that together in that international collaborative. Next. And I don't need to describe what extreme conformation is, but it's something which causes suffer for dogs because they are not conformed in the proper way. Next. So who are we? Right now, we are around 10 true members, or at least members to be. That is someone representing multi-stakeholder groups in their countries. And together with that, we have a lot of partners who have the same beliefs and support what we are doing. We are in the process of appointing expert panel members, and we believe that all together could move this in the right direction. Next. So how we are doing? We are having quite regular virtual meetings. Almost every month we are gathered, mostly to welcome new groups, because we would like to see even more members. A lot of our collaborative groups are actually the same countries as work in the IPFD, but we have also organizations outside those countries, and I think we could do even more. So it's very important that we can gather people quite regularly. And of course, it's important for us also to participate in relevant activities like this one. Next. That's an easy thing. We think that is the most important. You said it in the former talk. The most important is health, welfare, and temperament. That should override all other aspects of dogs. This is not a complete list. It is a list of countries that have multi-stakeholder groups. Some of them are very structured and have almost every stakeholder groups involved. Others have just veterinarians and clinic clubs, and some are in the process of forming that. Let's go for having even more those national multi-stakeholder groups formed. Next. So the most important activities yet is to establish multi-stakeholder groups. The next thing is to promote wise legislation. And that is, of course, something which would avoid having banning of breeds, but can give guidance in the right direction. We are also promoting, of course, all the screening methods for extreme conformation. Not only respiratory function grading, we have heard about two more today, and I think it's very important that they are promoted. And you also heard a little bit today about the breed-specific instructions, which is something which goes on in the kennel clubs, where they have trying to enforce that perspective on the breeders, judges. That's the same thing as Breed Watch in UK. I think, and I can tell you that in these ICECDogs participants, a lot of screening is going on, and a lot of them have Breed Watch programs or breed-specific instructions. So, and I haven't mentioned here, but in most of these countries, there are also crossbreeding programs instituted. So there are a lot of things going on that we can exchange experience of within our organization. We do a lot of position statements and press releases. You can see some of them on the next slide. We have done it on how dogs should be used in advertising, and we have done it on how to look at noisy breathing. So there are places for imposing things by really making statements. The next slide, please. I'm happy to say that our board members are well represented in the organization that you will hear about in the next session. Monique Megans representing our organization, Dan O'Neill as the UK Breeding Group, and myself involved in World Small Animal Association. So we are very grateful for the Choose Health Coalition that you will hear about more in the next slide. Because I think us three together makes it even stronger, from a partnership to a collaborative to a coalition. Next slide. Thank you to Royal Canin for having supported our work and for bringing us together in the coalition. And that's the way over to the next presentation.